when we're a local business is going viral won't necessarily help us, because if we're reaching people in India and Nepal and we've got a very specialized service, or people need to come into our location, 1 million views isn't going to drive more business. So how do we make sure that the eyeballs that see our content are in the local community and can actually come in and engage the services? So the first thing that we're going to look at is adding a local hashtag to the content when you schedule it, to make sure that anyone that is following those hashtags could have the opportunity to see that video. The next one is the local city call out. So rather than just having headlines that would speak to the general population, we add in the location. So we appeal to people in the local community, but we also tell the algorithm, hey, this is who we want to see this video. And then finally, to put it on steroids, we boost the location so we can actually control the quality of the eyeballs that are going to see our videos with this one simple step. So let's jump in and see how we make this happen. So how do we schedule our content to go out to get in front of our local community, have the best chance at reaching customers? So we're going to follow these principles and do an example, and hypothetically pretending that this is Blonde Republic right here. So the great thing about when you're using the Meta Planner, and just follow the link to the Meta Business Suite below this video to get to this place, and then you just want to click on your planner, it'll tell you the most active times of your audience. And generally speaking, if your target clients are mums and dads, as an example, the evenings are a great time to schedule your content, because they're done with the working day, the kids are in bed, they've had dinner, they're on their phone scrolling. So just think about when you're on your phone scrolling, and that's the best time to schedule your content, because that's likely when your target customers are as well. And we want to reach them at a time they're on the platform. But you get a few clues from the Meta Planner about when that could be, and you can schedule your content to go out at these optimal times. So we're going to create reels, because that's the best way to structure the videos that we've just created when we post them to social media. So I click on create reel, and again, we're going through the lens of this being Blonde Republic. So I'm going to get my video that Deb has created as an example, and I'm going to add it to the platform. I'll just pause the sound. Now, what we do differently is we want to go through these 3 steps. We're using local hashtags, local city call out, and boost location. So to find local hashtags, here's what you can do. A great resource to find a list of local hashtags that can help your content come up in localized searches on social media is besthashtags.com. So we'll use the Tamworth example. If I search the Tamworth hashtag, it's going to show me what people are using in relation to Tamworth. So you can see the results that come up, and depending on the size of the city that you live in and your service area will determine how flexible you get with these hashtags. So in big locations, you might be able to use Tamworth parents as an example if there's a large population and that's who you're looking to reach, or Tamworth dads, Tamworth mums. But in generally speaking, if you're in a regional place, just using the location is a really smart play. So you want to grab yourself 5 or 6 local hashtags that are a fit for who you're trying to reach, and then park them to the side, and then put them on the appropriate content and videos. So if people are searching or following these hashtags locally, then your video and your content has every chance of showing up to them. So the local call out strategy works like this, and I prepared some captions earlier. So if you're going for a global audience, you wouldn't have the location in it. You might have popular blonde winter hairstyles for X, Y, Z, whoever the audience is. But when you're a local business, putting in your service area, your city, your suburb in the title tells the algorithm who it's for. But more importantly, it's going to help get the attention of people in the community when we go to the next step in the process and we circulate it locally. So as you can see, and it might not work on every single post. So if it doesn't fit and it's not right for that piece of content, you don't have to do this. But imagine you were a lady in Tamworth with blonde hair and you saw popular blonde winter hairstyles for Tamworth ladies. It's going to get your attention, just like if I saw a post in my feed that said Box Hill Dads. It's going to get my eyeballs. I'm going to stop and I'm going to have a look. So it's going to promote targeted engagement. And that's what it's all about here, quality eyeballs. And then, of course, leading into the value, this is an educational post talking about some popular winter hairstyles. And then what's also important is having that call to action. And that's one of the points that we touch on here in attracting local clients. If we can promote people to interact and engage with our content, one, it tells the algorithm people are responding to this, show it to more people like this, and it can help get more traction. But if people are asking questions in the comments below, then you can start a conversation with them and they might become a lead or an opportunity that could be a client for your business. So the more you tell people what to do, the action that you want, the more opportunities you can create from your content, especially if you're going to be circulating it around in the local community to targeted eyeballs when I show you how to do that in just a moment. Then we've got our local hashtag that we've added. So depending on what the post is, where you are, you might have one or two of these hashtags. The ideal number of hashtags, generally speaking, is between 1 to 5 on just about every platform. So you don't want to hashtag spam, and you can go check that on Google. So if we follow this structure, we've got our call out of our local clients and area in the title. We've got a local hashtag. Then we're optimizing our post to get the attention of the right people and telling the algorithm who we want to see this. And we're setting ourselves up to achieve the goal of 24/7 local visibility. The next step when our post is ready is to boost it so we do achieve that 24/7 local visibility, and we're always omnipresent with our target clients in the community, either educating them, adding value, showcasing what we do through social proof, or adding the community story so we create that connection piece. So when our post is ready and we're happy with the captions following that framework, we click next. Now, if you're doing a social piece post where you might be showcasing the business or doing a little tour around the site, you might add some music, and you can do that here. If I click next, now I want to schedule it at the optimal time where my target audience is most likely to be on social media. And to reiterate, it's usually when you're on social media scrolling. So in most cases for mum and dad type audience, it's the evening. So let's say it was 7 o'clock tonight. I believe that's what it said in the schedule. And then we just click our schedule button. Now, as you know, we have a posting structure for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for even distribution across the 3 different content pillars throughout the week. So we would be following that framework. So let's say this was one of our social proof posts. We would know that we should reschedule that for 7 a.m. tomorrow morning at that optimal time. But generally speaking, the posts are going to go out at pretty much the same time each week for our target audience on those days, following that framework that we went through over here. So now, to make sure that we reach our target clients in our community 24/7, we are going to boost to that audience in the location. So if we go to our scheduled post and we click on it, you'll see this blue boost button. Then what we can do, normally you'll have a preview here, is mention the goal of that piece of content. So depending on what you want to achieve with it. So if it's just an educational piece of content that you want to add more goodwill to the community, you can just target people watching the videos and getting to know you. If you wanted to have another call to action, so if we go back over to pillar number 3 over here where we attract local clients, you may want to add in a call to business option or message to business. So we've got all these different solutions, or you can just leave it as automatic and let Facebook and Meta do its thing. So it depends on the piece of content and what your goal is. So it'll also come up with variations of the text. In this case, I don't want to use any variations that they've got. If I didn't want to have a button, then I can choose no button. But if I want to have that option for people to contact me and have that, again, call to action feature, then I might leave that there and have send message, call now, whatever the particular action is I want for the business. And if I'm using the message option, then I can have a template. So there's a default welcome message. So if someone does message you, you can say, hey, how can I help you today? And you might have a list of options, so you can edit that there. But what's most important is the audience, making sure that we reach the target customers in the location. So what we're going to do is go to audience details, click on the edit icon. So in Deb's case, we want women, and it could be anyone from 18 to 65 in Deb's case, but you'd put in the age range of your target client. So then we're going to type in Tamworth because that's the salon location. There we go. And then we want to also look at the radius. How far do we want people to travel to Tamworth? So we can bring this in. So again, depending on how big your city or location is, how far are people willing to travel to come to your business? You can go as low as 17 kilometers and expand it out depending on what the service is. So let's say we wanted to leave it at 30 kilometers as an example. And now we've got our female audience, 18 to 65, within a 30 kilometer radius of Tamworth. You do the same thing. What is the gender? If that's specific to your business, you can leave it as all if that's not an issue for clients. The age range, so if you need customers that are more established, a bit more along the life and professional journey, you might increase that to say 30 plus, so mums and dads that have disposable income and are at that level as opposed to younger audiences. So really think about who your best customers are and what their age range is. Put your location in. And then if you needed to refine it a little bit further, you can put in some more suggestions like a parent or so forth in this part, but I generally leave it open. Meta's pretty good at showing content to the right people these days, and you can see it suggesting interests for me based on being a marketing agency. So I'm just going to hit save audience, and you can see all my changes have come in here. So female, 18 to 65, 30k radius of Tamworth. And then what I need to do once I'm happy with this setup is my duration. So I set my duration, and usually I'll have it as a 4-day duration. And then I want to set my budget. How much am I willing to spend? So let's say it was $20 as an example. And what you're going to get is an estimation of the daily reach. So I'll be spending roughly $5 a day and reaching between 300 and 800 females in Tamworth, aged between 80 and 65, who are the target clients. So by investing that $5 a day, I'm going to be reaching somewhere in this range on a daily basis, and I'm achieving the targeted local visibility of being front and center with my target clients in the community. And I would just hit schedule when I'm happy with that setup, and assuming the post gets approved, you have to meet the guidelines of Meta for that to happen, so just be across those. I'm now circulating my educational content about blonde hair for Tamworth ladies across the feed, and I'm going to reach probably somewhere in the region of 2,000 local target clients by taking this step versus leaving it up to chance, anyone, anywhere in the world, by not following this local visibility blueprint.